نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Today I would like to talk about a topic that is very important but is often misunderstood. The topic is predestination. When we think of predestination, we think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has already written down everything about us. What we will do, where we will go, who we will be with, and how we will end up. Everything about us, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala already knows. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has knowledge of everything. He knows what will happen to us, He knows what choices we will make, and He knows how we will end up. In the Quran, it says in Surah Al-An'am, "And with Him are the keys of the unseen. None knows them except for Him. And He knows what is on the earth and on the sea. Not a leaf falls, but that He knows it. And no grain is there within the darkness of the earth, and no moist or dry thing, but that it is written in the clear record." So this says that He is all-knowing. He knows everything. And so He knows the unseen, He knows the choices we will make, He knows everything that happens in the world. And because He knows all of this, He's written it down. He is our creator. And before creating us, He had commanded the pen to write in the Loy Mahfuz everything about us, everything about all of us, what we will do, how we will act, what will happen to us, what choices we will make, and how we will end up. Because He is our creator, He knows everything about us. And because He knows everything about us, He has written it down. In Surah Al-Hajj, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks, "Do you not know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows what is in the heavens and the earth? Indeed, that it is in a record. Indeed, that for Allah is easy." So again, He establishes that Allah is capable of all things. He knows everything. And so because He knows everything, He has all written it down in a book. And that is something we have not seen, but it contains everything about the unseen. So then we come to the question that, okay, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows everything. He has knowledge of everything and He's written it down. Then why should I be punished if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala writes that I will do these bad deeds? Or why should I work hard if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has already determined that I will go to Jahannam or I will go to Jannat? It is not because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has written it down that you will do the action. It is because you will do the action and Allah knows that you will do the action that He has already written it down. He knows what we will do. He knows what choices we will make, and that's why He's already written it down. This writing will never interfere with our choices. It has nothing to do with our choices. What is in the tablet is a secret from us. We have not seen it. We have not read it. So how can we say that because it was written in the tablet, I did it? How can we place blame on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's writing? We can't. Because we don't have the proof to say that, yes, I have read the tablet and this is what's in it and that's why I did these bad things. We can't place blame on Allah's writings. This life is a test, and Allah has given us the free choice, the free will to choose whatever path we want to take. Whether we want to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or whether we want to follow shaitan. He's already sent down guidance for us. He has laid out both of the options that we have. And He has informed us about the rewards of our good actions and the consequences of our bad actions. And He has left us with the final say. We are responsible for the final choice we make. The choices we make, however, have nothing to do with the Loy Mahfuz. Because what is written down in the book, it's not going to be used against us on the Day of Judgment, on the last day, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inquires all of us about all of our deeds. Why we did this, who it benefited, and if it was for the sake of Allah or not. the Lawh Mahfuz will not be used against us on that day. But what will be used against us is the writings that the angels had recorded after every single deed that we performed, good or bad. So, setting an example, say there is a principal. A principal walks into the teacher's classroom and he says, okay, who do you think will pass this exam? And the teacher says, oh, this student will pass because he's a hardworking student and he always listens to me. And then this student will not pass, he will fail because he doesn't listen to me and he doesn't work hard and he doesn't study. And so the principal says, okay, I trust you. Go release the exam results without giving them the exam. When the exam results come out and the student who have failed, they will blame the teacher. They will say, oh teacher, I studied and I worked hard, but you didn't give me the exam. You did not give me the chance to prove to you that I studied, that I worked hard. And so he will place blame on the teacher. But let's say that the teacher, instead of announcing the results, he wrote it down. He wrote down that, oh, this student will pass, oh, this student will fail, oh, this student will get good marks, and he writes it down and he hides it. When the results come in, and that's the same results that the teacher has written down, is it because the teacher wrote down for that student to fail that that student failed? No. It is because it was the student's choice to not study, to not work hard, and that is what led him to fail. It was the results of his own choices. Those are the consequences that he is facing because he chose not to work hard. So that's a similar situation with Allah's writings, except for the teacher was just guessing. Here we've already established that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is all-knowing. He has knowledge of everything. And because He is our creator, He knows that what we as creations will do and what choices we will make, He's already written it down. And just because He has written it down doesn't mean that we will do it because He's written it down. It's the same thing. We make the choices that we make, and that leads us to the consequences we face. And so we are responsible for our own actions because of our own decisions that we make. We can't blame anybody else. We can't blame anything else. We can't blame the writing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for our choices, for our decisions. No one uses the written tablet for justification for doing good deeds. If someone wakes up and prays Fajr Salah, they don't say that because it was written in the Lawh Mahfuz, I will wake up and pray Fajr Salah, I did. They say because it was my own choice, my own hard work, that I put the alarm, I woke up for Fajr and I prayed to Allah. It was my own choice. But when they do bad deeds, or if they do something they're not supposed to do, they say, because it was written in the Lawh Mahfuz that I will do this deed, I did it. Because it was written for me to miss my Fajr Salah, I did not wake up. I did not pray to my Allah. That's not the right way. Because it was your choice to not wake up. It was your choice to stay asleep. It was your choice to not pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so you are held accountable for your own actions. So we have to understand that the actions we take are the results of our own choices. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not force us to take this choice or to make this choice or to do this or to do that. He gives us options. He gives us advice on what he thinks, what he knows will lead us to be benefited, or what will lead us to our demise, what will be bad for us. He knows all of this, and He advises us on what is good for us and what is bad for us. But in the end, He left it to us as humans to choose what path we want to take. And whatever choices we make will determine whether path we are going down. And whatever path we are going down will determine how we will end up. But whatever happens in the end, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala already knows. And so whatever we choose, we will be responsible for picking which way we want to go, what deeds we want to do, and who we want to follow, whether that would be shaitan or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So let's pray to Allah that we choose the right path, that we make the choices that will lead us to do good deeds, that will lead us to do deeds that will please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and that will end us up in Jannat. Ameen. Sadaqallahu al-Azim.